Rightio then, hello everybody, I hope you're all well, and I think it's about time that I started to open up some of the shirts that I've been personally buying. I've got a little bit of a backlog building up, as I usually like to do, and I thought it might be best I start with a shirt that I actually purchased towards the end of last year, just after Christmas, and here it is. So yes, it's one that I bought from eBay. I don't do that too frequently, and it's coming in this interesting box. It's literally just a loose t-shirt, so it'll be interesting to see how they package that. But let's get it open. I think it's going to be quite durable, so I have my trusty miniature scissors to try and cut through the packaging on this one. All I've got to do is get a nice little finger in that hole. Right then. Good. Good. Try and slide that off. Okay then, so there is the little box. Hopefully the shirt is in here. Do I need to use it again? He has taped it up. Oh, brute strength. Brute strength. Oh. It keeps going. And it's also got sponge. This is the most amazingly packaged shirt I've ever seen, considering it's an eBay one. So let's keep going. Right then. I can see it. There it is. So, oh, there's a tag, so that's always nice, isn't it? Right then, let's have a look at the rear of the shirt there. Now, I suppose some of you who have been seeing my videos for a while, or just know necessarily football shirts in this part of the world, can tell maybe from the sponsors there where this is going to be based. And if we look around on the front of this one, there we go. So this is a team that I don't really think I'd heard of previously to when I made the purchase, which always kind of inspires me to want to make the purchase, because I like to learn about these teams and these clubs. But it is the one I ordered, which is always a great thing, and it is quite nice actually. It feels as I really expected. It's got quite a few sponsors on, but that's to be expected from the shirt from this part of the world. There is a little bit of a motif thing on the inside there, which is Hacienda Historia, which I can only imagine is something to do with history. But that's really, really nice. I noticed the size says XG, so it was obviously advertised as a medium, so I guess that's going to be a medium, I guess. I'll do a little bit of measuring on that one just to make sure, but I don't see why it would be incorrect. So I'll do what I always do. I shall dress the mannequin, and I'll come back to you with a little bit about the club and the shirt. Rightio then, there is the shirt, looking very, very good. And first things first, XG does indeed mean medium. It's not just a indicator to show how impotent the current Chelsea attack is. But you want to know who the club is and what it's all about. And the club is Cimones de Sonora. And yes, indeed, it is another team from Mexico. We keep bringing those Mexican shirts in for no particular reason. Now this is their home shirt from 2017-2018, so it's quite a few years old now, and like I mentioned based on the packaging there, I did buy it from eBay. I do scour eBay occasionally looking for brand new tag shirts. I stay away from the primary major ones because the likelihood of them being fake is greater than them being genuine. But when you see sort of less popular teams or less favourable teams, the odds of them being genuine kind of increase quite a decent amount, and when you sort of do a little bit of comparison, you can kind of gauge whether or not they're going to be genuine. So I think when this was initially listed, it was up for £32.49, and then what I usually do is I add to my watch list, and then he dropped me a message with an offer. I think he dropped it down to £27, and then I counted with £25 and he accepted. So yes, I was able to take about £7 off there, plus a little bit of postage. So I think that's a pretty decent deal. £25 for a Mexican shirt is pretty much what I usually spend, between 25 and 30. So that's a great little purchase there. So, of course, it's a Mexican team, and they come from Hermosillo, Sonora, which is in the north of Mexico. So it's so I think it's possibly on the border with the US there. Now the club was founded, or this current version of the franchise, because that's usually how they work in Mexico, in 2013. So not super old, still quite a relatively young team there, and they play in the sort of Liga Expansion, the second division, and that's the league that they've been playing in for the most of their time. That's the highest level they've ever been at. So in the 2022 Apertura, which is the first half of the current season, they finished 4th, so that was a pretty decent standing. That was. The Mexican League is kind of a bit convoluted, so you've got many stages and qualifiers and then knockout stages, so I'm just going to base it on Apertura. They finished 4th. The Clausura, so the closing part, the second part, is only really just begun. I think they've played maybe 3 or 4 games, and again they're currently sitting 4th, so they're probably going to find themselves near towards the top once again. So quite clearly they're a pretty strong team, for at least for the second division there. And last season, when you take the overall aggregated table, so that includes both of the halves there, they did finish 7th, which is decent. Again, it's clearly they're slightly improving for this season, so things are trending upwards for the team there. Now, when it comes to actual shirt, it's manufactured by a company, I think it's pronounced Romed or Romed or something like that. They are a Mexican manufacturer. Now, I had seen them before because I know Classic Football Shirts had a few of their shirts for sale at one point, and I was going to grab one, but I ended up just missing out because I was going for other things. And it's nice. It's kind of a typical sort of shirt that you'd get from certain parts of the world where majority, in fact everything, is screen printed apart from this sort of crest there, which is kind of felty but really thin, so it's actually not too bad. I don't mind it when it's a thin felt, but everything else is sort of screen printed on, so it should last a little bit more durable. Yes, there are plenty of sponsors running across it, but that's to be expected when you try and make a purchase from sort of a lot of these clubs in this world. Now, the currently are manufactured by another Mexican one called Cuca. I think that's possibly how you pronounce it. I've never heard of them before, but this was the final season with Romed, and they have been with them for quite a while now. So I did mention this is their home shirt, and you'd maybe think that red is their home colours, but ever since then, recently, it's kind of been switching between navy and white as their sort of primary colours. Red features either as like a secondary, tertiary colour, or it might be like a third shirt. So quite clearly they've changed the styling going on there. So yeah, if you see some of their shirts, it could be literally a home, away, or a third shirt. So yeah, it's got this sort of pretty simple red and sort of slightly darker red vertical stripe going across it there. Now, I believe, if I'm correct, this is my 20th Mexican shirt to my collection. I promise you, I don't explicitly go out there to buy them, but they just seem to just appear, which is not terrible because, you know, every shirt counts, and Mexican shirts are pretty cool, to be honest. I think my most popular countries, you've got Spain first, Germany second, and then Mexico in third, so they're flying the flag quite high there for that part of the world. But there we go. I think that's a decent place to start. It's a nice little cheaper shirt. I've got some expensive shirts that I'm going to be showing you. Definitely going to be one on Friday that I'm going to show you that's an expensive one. So I'm trying to balance it out. There's no point going crazy, but I do have a little bit of spare change now, so I can sort of push the boundaries on what I think is sort of a sensible purchase, at least for me right now. So yeah, let me know what you think about this. Have you ever heard of this team before? I certainly haven't. Maybe they've been around in a certain other sort of guise before they changed franchises, etc. I know that's what happens. I reckon within maybe possibly a few years they might have changed once again. So who knows what it is, but I'm pleased to own one of these. So I hope you have a great week ahead, and I promise you the video that's going to get released on Friday is going to be pretty special. It's a very, very nice shirt and something I'm very excited to show you all. So as always, thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see you on Friday. Goodbye.